What customers want from a business? We're going to answer that question in this video. Okay, let's rock. Let's talk about what do customers want from a business? Well, it doesn't take a rocket science to figure that out because you and I are both customers. So let's just dive in and let's talk about what do we want when we go into a business. Okay, so the first thing I would say, these are just basic things, is I want to make sure that if I'm going in somewhere that it's clean, right? I'm in a safe area if I'm physically going into a business, right? Not trying to go into a place where I think I'm going to go in and get robbed or something like that. When I come out, it's unsafe. That's probably one of the number one things I would say for my own safety that I would want. And then when you walk in, you don't necessarily want to be bombarded, right? With a salesperson coming in trying to ask you a million questions about this and that. And you know they're just trying to sell something to you, probably because they're making commission. Nobody wants that. I think most customers want to be left alone when they're shopping, right? Now, when they're ready, that's a whole nother story. Now they're ready to ask you a question. I'll tell you what customers want then. They want some service, right? So it's a delicate fine line in learning how to deal directly with customers at the retail level. And I have a lot of experience with this. I can't tell you how many times when I was running like my trading card business, and even like when we were running like our precious metals business, and people would come in, let's talk about the trading cards. And they come in to shop and we always greet them. We're always like, hey, welcome to Collector's Cash, how are you? And you kind of get that basic going. And then you want to kind of leave them alone. You know, some people are introverts. They're shy. They don't really want to be bothered. They want to look around and peruse like they're not there, right? And then when they're ready, they might just, obviously, nudge you or say something or raise their hand. That's kind of the typical thing. But I think there's an actual art to truly learning the fine line between pestering a customer, like, can I help you? Can I help you? Are you ready yet? Right? That kind of like thing that just is, it's a constant battle of doing that back and forth. And then being able to just understand like, okay, they're ready. So what are the telltale signs that you see if you're running a retail store when a customer's ready? Well, maybe when they're like sitting there kind of looking at the ceiling and like, I wonder, and they keep looking over at you, that probably means they're ready to ask you something, right? Or what if they pull their billfold out, right? Their wallet, their purse, whatever. They put it on the counter and they're starting to dig through it. They're probably digging for money. They're ready to buy something. They're ready to pay for it. Maybe they're paying cash, right? Another thing too, is a lot of times you have a customer just kind of standing there and just staring at you like this. And it's that awkward stare where they've been standing there for like 2 minutes and they're trying to let you know that they've been standing there for 2 minutes. That's like a big red blinking siren light going off. If you get that deer in the headlights death stare from a customer, you've probably ignored them and they're probably pissed. So if you get that situation come up, it's very important that you're able to counterbalance and counteract that and say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. You'll read it, you'll feel it, you'll feel their eye contact, right? Say, hey, I'm so sorry, I was not paying attention, I spaced off, let me give you a free this, or let me give you a discount off of this. Anything you can offer them to just put out that fire is gonna lower their defense shields and change that experience from being a frustrating one to a good one. And a lot of times, when a customer's behaving like that, it's not necessarily, I'm not saying all the time, but a lot of times it's not because you did something wrong. A lot of times they're just having a bad day. And then, customers just walk in, stomping, super entitled, that whole feeling, right? We're all entitled as customers. Saying this from experience, right? Hey, I'm here to spend my hard-earned money. You need to give me some dang service, right? So a lot of times they're just having a bad day and you're the person they're gonna let it out on. So it's important that you don't let your business get affected by that, right? Because you can feed that fire. You can make that person's day way worse, and they're going to take out all their anger and frustration out on you in the business. They might leave you a bad review, they might scream at you, whatever, and in the end, they're the ones that's right. Because if you upset them, especially to the point that they never want to come back, you lose, your business loses, you might lose like long-term value of that customer. Maybe they would have shopped with you 10 times. Maybe they would have been a lifelong customer and shopped with you 100 times. So you didn't just lose that one sale, you might have lost 100 sales, right? So think in terms of like, if you're a coffee shop or a smoothie, shop or something like that, where people, especially during the summer, for smoothies all year round with coffee, are gonna come in every day or every other day. Gosh, one customer could be worth thousands of dollars long-term. So you've gotta really learn how to combat that. So being able to figure out when a customer wants to be helped is huge, right? When we're talking about what does a customer want. So for me, that's kind of one of the things I think about is if I'm walking into a store, I think of like when I was young, when I was like in my teens, and I would go to like Tommy Hilfiger, right? Or I would go to the Buckle, or I would go to a Nike store or something like that. A lot of times those people were just on top of me, right? And they didn't do anything wrong as far as like they weren't being rude. They were just like hovering, right? Like following me around and asking questions. And I didn't want to be rude, but at the same time, I didn't want them to do that, right? I was just like, stop, right? So customers, in a lot of times when they're shopping, want to be left alone. But again, as customers, we're shopping for just generalities. We're shopping for good prices, low prices, great service, a great environment. For me, that's huge, right? Having a massively incredible environment to walk into for a business is something that sticks, right? It's something that resonates. I mean, have you ever been to like Rainforest Cafe to go eat? I mean, how beautiful is that place, right? It's just incredible the way they lay that place out. Have you ever gone to like Dave & Buster's to play video games? I mean, how incredible is it? I mean, it's just so live, lights, video games, everything's going crazy. It's just a blast, right? So that whole, they have professional designers design that, right? They call it like feng shui, right? How you feel as you're walking, as you enter and things like that. Customers want that. They want to feel that. If you're in Las Vegas or you've been there, you know the difference between those old rundown casinos, say downtown, right? The downtown ones versus the ones on the strip. The ones that are on the strip, some of those are just, it's like two different worlds, right? You walk into the downtown ones, they got low ceilings. You can just feel that old grungy smell that's been around for all those years of smoke and all that stuff. And you go to the new ones, I'm not saying you don't smell smoke, but it's just, go to the Wynn or go to the Bellagio, go to the Aria, and then go to some of the other ones downtown and you'll see what I mean. So customers want experience, right? They want experience. They want to feel like, oh my gosh, and they start taking pictures and stuff. One of the things I admire about the way they design those casinos is they've become attractions. So they've spent all this money, like in Bellagio, they have this big botanical garden, and they change out these flowers nonstop, and they've got these blown glass flowers and things in the lobby on the ceiling and things like that. People go to that casino not to gamble, they go there just to take pictures, right? Just to kind of pull people in, and the casino's smart, right? So those people, while they're there, might get a coffee, might get something to eat, might go shopping and things like that. So customers want that. So let's kind of recap. As customers, we want good prices, right? We definitely want good prices. We want a good experience. We want to be left alone at times, but then at the same time, when we want to be helped, we want to be helped, right? It's kind of that paradox that the poor people, when I say poor people, poor employees have to figure out. Every customer is different. Everybody's got different personalities. Some people are having a bad day. Some people are having a good day, right? And then environment. Having something you can brag and tell your friends, I went to this new place. Oh my gosh, you got to check it out. And especially with social media, you're taking pictures. Hey, I'm the first one here. Check it out. I remember, when we first opened our axe throwing business. The experiences that people here in Kansas City were getting were off the charts. And it was just super hot. Like everybody wanted to have pictures, holding the axes, burying them in the tree stumps, right? Throwing the bullseyes and things like that. It was just such a cool, hip thing to do. And so people want to try, customers want newness, right? So in a business, they want to experience it. So as the business owner, if you're a business owner or you're managing a business, one thing that you've really got to focus on is you've really got to look from the customer's perspective and give them that experience that they're wanting. Put that cherry on top, whipped cream and cherry on top of every experience that comes in. We tell people when they come into say our axe throwing place, or they come into our escape room, when I'm training my staff and I've got the opportunity to engage, one of the things that I will repeat over and over and over, I say it to them, I say it to like when people come into tournaments, things like that, whatever, I said, think of Disney. We want to model what Disney World does, what Disneyland does. Anytime you go to Disney, all the characters, whether it's Cinderella or Mickey Mouse or whatever, that are walking around are all smiling and everything's perfect and whatever, and all the kids are having a good time. So you're giving them this experience, this magical experience. So if you can model Disney and the way that they actually treat everybody that comes in, I don't know anybody, myself personally, that said they've gone to Disney World or Disneyland and had a bad experience. I know nobody. Why is that? It's because they just focus on experiences and making their customers have those experiences. And then when you give them that experience, then you start earning repeat business, right? Customer retention. And that builds your business long term because the customers want to come back. Just one incredible experience for one customer could bring you 100+ customers down the line. That's legitimate. That's a legitimate thing, okay? So understand that. So give the customers what they want. Have your business, teach your staff, model your staff. Say, I don't care about anything else. I want you to just make sure that anytime a person comes in that's a customer, I want them to have the absolute best experience. I want them walking out, giggling, laughing, being like, oh my gosh, this blew me away. This was the coolest thing I've ever done. So that they're talking about it as they're walking out. They're on their phone, sharing it on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and everything, and saying, this is the coolest place. They're leaving you a good review, and they're telling all their friends and family about you. That's your goal. Okay, so there's one more thing I want to talk about when we talk about what customers want from a business. And this is a super important one. So if you think about this, I think a lot of people, myself included, and maybe if you watching the videos, you'll agree with me on this one. I think a lot of customers want connection. They want connection with other people. They want connection with the business. They want connection with the person behind the counter, the manager, the assistant manager, whatever, the owner. They want to build a relationship because they might want to become a regular patron, a regular customer of yours, right? And so they want to say that they know the owner. They want to be friends with the owner. And I can tell you this from personal experience. We'll just use my trading card store as a great example, okay? We've been buying and selling trading card games like Magic the Gathering for over 25 years now. 25 years, a quarter of a century is how long we've been doing that. And I would say in Kansas City, in the greater Kansas City metropolitan area, that business, that my family-owned business, okay, Collector's Cash, is single-handedly responsible for connecting and building thousands of relationships within the community. It's one of the coolest things we've done is serving the community. So many of our customers have told me over the years, hey, all of my best friends I met come into your shop. I mean, it's incredible. It's mind-blowing, right? And so when you understand that a lot of times customers, when they're coming in, they're not just coming in to give you their money, spend it, and leave. They're coming in there because they want friends. They want, people like family friends, right? They want connection to people that they're going to have similar interests with and things like that they can buddy up with. And so whether they're playing Dungeons and Dragons or Magic the Gathering or Pokemon, if you're watching this video in the Kansas City and you're in the Kansas City area, the greater area, you might have come to Collector's Cash and you might be like, wow, yeah, two of my best friends I met there, or I met them at another game store or something similar. That's kind of the point that I'm making. So customers, well, they're high maintenance, right? We're all high maintenance, right? We want a lot. We want the whole moon, right? Kitten Caboodle, and it's all good. That's what it is. But anyway, that's it for today. I hope you found this video very insightful. I hope it shed some light. If you've got a business, maybe I gave you a couple pointers that can help you improve. And remember, if you like this video, I ask kindly that you share the video with your friends and family because you never know who you could help out. I'm here to serve. If you really liked it, please subscribe. I'm going to continue to deliver videos and comment. If you got any questions, ideas for future videos, I would love to hear from you. And remember, in life and in business, no matter how hard it gets, never give up, push hard, keep pushing, and be the hustler.